Once again, see the operators in Python. Students, those who are in offline, please come to lab. Let us see. Second. See membership of membership. There are two operators. Membership operators in and second. Membership operators. There are two membership operators. They are in and second. In and not in. In and not in. So two membership operators. Now let us see what these operators will do. There are two membership operators in and not in. Let us see. See here, I am declaring string s equal to Lavanya. Lavanya Susana. See here. Now S is a variable, string variable which contains Lavanya space Susanna. Okay. Now see here what I am doing. Lavanya in. See, I am using membership operator. I'm using membership operator. Okay, in S. Now what it is doing, whether this Lavanya is present or not. In S contains Lavanya Susanna. Once again, see membership operator, in operator. How we are Lavanya in S contains Lavanya Susanna. See here. See the output true. Checks whether Lavanya is present in string variable. Okay. Yes, Lavanya is there, right? String variable contains Lavanya Susanna. Now what you are doing? You are checking whether this Lavanya is present in S variable. Okay. What is the output here? True. Once again, see. This membership operator, right? See again. Lavanya. I'm using not in S. Okay. Not in S. Lavanya, not in S. S contains Lavanya Susanna. S is a string variable. See, no one came to lab 1. I request students who are in offline, please come to lab 1. G10. Okay, see here. See the output here. What you got? False. Lavanya not in S. Okay, actually Lavanya is present in S, right? Lavanya not in S. It gives false. Once again, see membership operators. There are two membership operators. Okay, see here. Are you able to understand, students? Is it clear? Is the topic is clear for you? Are you able to understand membership operator in and not in? They are used to check whether the sequence is present in that variable or not. To test, okay? Is it clear? The topic is clear for you? Please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, once again, see. Here you need to use some sequences. String is a sequence, right? List is a sequence, right? Tuple is a sequence, right? Here you need to use some sequences. Now once again see, I'm giving some another LAVA is LAVA in S. Whether LAVA substring, this string is present in S or not. See here, yes. What is the output you got? True. I hope you understand what is the membership operator, what is the use of in operator and not in operator. Now I will give some other string, something like A and Y. Something like this. In S. Some string I have given some string will. Will in S. S contains Lavanya Susana. See what you are getting? You are getting false. Okay. I hope you understood. So this is the membership operator. So, now, yes, see here. Now another operator, membership operator is completed. Okay, I'm sorry. Now is it okay? Is my voice is okay for you? Now is my voice is clear? Is my voice is clear? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see here, other operator, identity operator. Once again, say operators. In previous class, we have seen arithmetic operators, relational operators, assignment operators, logical operators, device operators. Now we have seen membership operator, right? Membership operator in, not in. Now identity operator. What are identity operators? Let us see it. Identity operators. Once again, yes, see here. Identity operators is, identity operator is not. So the two identity operators. Now let us see what is its use. Once again, see identity operators is not, sorry, is not. So the two identity operators. Let us see its use. Now see. Now what I am doing this way. A equal to A equal to A equal to 10. B equal to, now see, B equal to 20. A equal to 10 and B equal to 20. Enter. Now see here. Now if you want to find location, address of variable A and address of variable B, you need to use identity operator. Okay. ID of A. What is ID of A? See here. ID of A. See here. Next. ID of B. ID of B. ID function. This function gives address location of the variable. Address location of the variable. ID of B. Now see what is the address location. The address location of A is different and address location of B is different, right? What is happening? See, let's see. See here. First, let us see A equal to 10. A equal to 10. What is happening? First, here 10. All the values are objects in Python. Now, for 10, first for 10, memory will be allocated. 10 is an object. All the values in Python are objects. For value 10, the memory will be allocated. Now A is tagged. Okay. A variable is tagged. Tagged to 10. This is a tagged value. Now B equal to 20. Now B equal to 20, right? 20 is another value, right? Now what is happening? Now for 20, 20 is another object. Okay. But the memory will be allocated. Here there is some address. Some address. there will be some address. Every location will have some address. Okay. Now B is tagged to 20. Now see here, address location of A is different and address location of B is different. What is address location? This one. See here. This is address location of A address. How to find the address? Use ID function. That pass variable name. You will get the address location. That address. Okay. Now ID of B is different, right? A is pointing to A is tagged to 10, B is tagged to object 20, and address location are different. Now, let us use identity operator. What is identity operator? Identity operator is. Okay, is and not is. Is not, sorry. Is not. Now, see here. A is B. See here. A is B. What you are getting? False. It will check whether the address are same or not. Okay, identity operator, it will check whether the address are same. Here address of A is different and address of B is different. Okay, not same. So what the output you got? False. Okay, once again let us see another example to understand well. Another example, B equal to B equal equal to A. Now I am assigning, see, B equal to A. What is happening? See here. See, A is tagged to 10, right? B is tagged to 20, right? Previously. Now what you are doing? You are assigning, see this statement. See this statement. B equal to, you are assigning, right? A to B, right? Here what is happening now? B is tagged to which value? What is A value? A is tagged to 10. You are now assigning B equal to A. Now B will be tagged to 10 because you have assigned B equal to A. B equal to A. Now B will be tagged to 10, not 20. Now address location of A and address of location of B are same. Let us find it. Okay. See how to find address location. Once again, see ID function. You need to use ID function. ID of A. What you will get? ID of A. See the address. Now ID of A, right? ID of A. Okay, see the address ID of A, we got 1798287747664. Okay. Now ID of B, let us see ID of B. ID of B. See, both are same, right? Because we have assigned B equal to A. Now B is tagged to 10. Okay. Now A is tagged to 10 and B is tagged to object 10. Now A and B address are same. Now let us see A is B. A is B. You are checking whether both are having equal address or not. You are checking it. See, true, yes. Okay. A is tagged to same location. B is tagged to same object. That means A, B location address is same. Okay. Now A is not B. What you will get is not B. False. Both are same, right? A is B, both are same. A address location is same. C is identity operator will check whether both addresses are similar or not. Do you understand, students? Shall I continue? Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, no one came. Offline students who are in offline, please come to lab 1. (457), roll number 457, 460, 461. It's answering. Okay. See, operators is completed. Once again, see how many operators are there in Python. Membership operator, in, not in. Identity operator, is not. Okay. Now, let us see tuple. Previous class I have discussed about list, right? Now tuple, let us see it. Yes, see here. Now let us see the difference. See here, if you want to define the list, see, A equal to, how to define the list, open bracket, and then type the elements separated by commas. Okay, this is the list, right? This is the list. Now you can modify the list. Okay, list or mutable. You can update the list. How to do it? You can insert A dot, insert in address location. Sorry. Index 0, 1. 1, you need to insert 40. You can do it, right? See here, comma. So you can do it. Now, see here, in first location, insert. I'm using insert function. I'm talking about list. Lists are used to store multiple data items, whether it may be a similar data items or mixed types. Now see here, remember that list you need to use open bracket and open square bracket and close square bracket. In that you need to use data items separated by commas. This is a list which is used to store multiple data items. Now see here, you can update the list, right? See, you are inserting 40 in index. See here, 10, 20, 30. 0, 1, 2. Here what I am doing, A dot insert. A dot insert of 1 comma 40. That means you are going to insert 40 in which address, which location, which index 1. Okay. Now 10, 40, 20, 30. Yes, right? See here. 0, 1, 2, 3. You are updating. You are inserting. That means these are mutable. You can change it. Now tuple. Let us see tuple. Already in previous class I have said, once again see tuple. For tuples you need to use bracket, open bracket and close bracket. Inside that you need to give data items separated by commas. You can give mixed data values or similar type or dissimilar type. Okay. Now see here, I am using tuple. I am defining the tuple. B equal to open bracket 10 comma 20 comma 30 close bracket. This is the tuple. Now see, you cannot update the tuple, right? P of 0 equal to something I am updating from. See, sorry. See, you cannot do it. See, what an error, type error. Object does not support assignment. Tuples are read only. They are immutable. You cannot change it. This is the difference between list and is that okay, tuple. And now let us see a program. Write a Python program to swap two numbers. How to swap two numbers? See, second. See here, A equal to 10, B equal to 20. Now what you need to do, you need to interchange the values. A must contain the output. See the output like must be like this. A equal to 20, B equal to 10. You need to swap two values. You need to swap two values. How to do it? Let us see it. It's very simple, very simple. Without temporary variable, just you need to swap. How to do it? Let us see. See here, A equal to 10, B equal to 20. Now see, A equal, now how to Second. See the statement. A comma B equal to B comma A. Here what is happening is it is taking as a tuple, okay? What is B value? 20. 20 comma 10. A comma B equal to 20 comma 10. If you are giving like this, it is taking as a tuple, okay? Left side, see assignment operator, right side, it is taking as a tuple. Now A will be tagged to 20 and B will be tagged to 10. Previously see here 10. A is tagged to 10. Previously B is tagged to 20. Now what you are doing? You are assigning like this. A comma B equal to B comma A. Here B comma A. Right side of the assignment operator. Here it will take as a tuple. Okay. Now A is tagged to 20 and B is tagged to 10. Once again 10, 20. Now B is tagged to 10. A is tagged to 20. Okay. This is what it is happening. Is it clear? It's very, very simple. No need to use any temporary variable. Is it clear, students? Is it clear? Is it clear? How to swap two variables values? How to swap two variable values? Have you understood? See, no one is responding.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, tuple is completed. I hope you understood difference between list and tuple. Both will store multiple values only. But tuple is read only. You cannot update anything, any value. Now let us see. Sets later. We can see sets dictionaries. We can see later. Now control statements. Okay. That's about sets and dictionaries. I will say in next class. Next week I will say. Now see control statements. See, you know that how execution takes place. First statement will be executed first, second statement will be executed, third statement will be in an order it will be executed. Now, if you want to repeat some set of statements or based on some condition, if you want to execute some set of statements, you can use control statements. What are the control statements? See how many control statements are there in Python. Once again, see, know that in an orderly manner only the execution takes place. If you want to repeat some set of instructions or based on some condition, if you want to execute some instructions, you can use control statements. In Python, how many control statements are there? If see condition statements, loop control statements and loop statements. Once again see condition statements, loop statements. What are loop statements? While loop and for loop. There is no do while loop in Python. There is no do while loop in Python. In Python there is only loop statements, while loop and for loop, and condition statements there is only if else and if else. This is nothing but if else if ladder. In C language there is if else ladder, right? In Python if elif, elif, else, else. Okay, this is same as if else if. Okay, this is similar to if else if else. Okay, if else if else later. Say in C language you have seen, right? It's similar to that, but here you need to use keyword elif. Instead of else if you need to use elif else. Okay, next. There is no switch statement in Python. C language there is a switch statement, right? But in Python there is no switch statement. Next, see, Loop control statements: break, continue, pass, return. Okay, don't get confused. Loop statements means while loop, for loop. What is the use of while loop and for loop? If you want to repeat some set of statements, okay, until some condition is false, if you want to repeat some set of statements, you need to use while and do while. Sorry, while and for loop, not do while. While and for loop. Next, now let us see syntaxes of it. Let us see syntaxes of it. See here, if else, let us see if else syntax. See here in Python, you need to use if condition. If and then condition and then colon. After that, you need to give colon. Okay, if space condition colon. Here, this colon represents starting of if block. Next, all the statements present in if block, you need to use indentation. That means space. See here, give some space and write all the statements. It represents suit. If suit is nothing but if block statements. See, once again, see, if keyword if space condition, you need to write condition, no brackets here. In C language, there are brackets, but in Python, no need to give brackets. If space condition and then colon, this colon represents starting of if. Okay. Now, after that, you need to give some spaces, indentation, some space. All the statements in if block must have some space. If you are not giving some space, compiler will generate some error. Okay, you will get error. Okay, remember that. Now, all these statements, see here, there is some space. After if statement, there is some space, indentation. You have given some indentation. After space, you have written statement 1, statement 2, so on. All these statements are called if block statements, nothing but suit. If suit. Okay, next. Next, after that, else. Okay, else colon, again you need to give colon. Okay, after colon you need to specify indentation, space. After some space you need to write all the statements. Okay, now see here, next statement there is no space, right? Okay, see, next statement is starting just else. After else, right? See here, there is no indentation. That now this next statement, what this next statement specifies, this next statement is not else block statements, else suit. Okay, if you are not giving space means this statement does not belongs to else suit. Remember, if you are giving space means this next statement it is also belongs to else suit. Okay, now let us see. Let us see simple example. See here, simple example. Python program to find largest of two numbers using if. How to find largest of two numbers? See here. Now through keyboard, if you want to give input through keyboard, you need to use input function. Input parenthesis. Inside parenthesis, you need to pass some message. Enter a value. Now, if you want to give integers, then you need to use int. Okay, a equal to int of input function. Inside input function, you need to pass enter a value, give in double quotes or single quotes, then brackets close, int function close. Okay. Now b equal to again int function open bracket, input, enter b value. Okay. Now see input function. Inside input function, you have specified some string, right? What is that string? Enter a value. Now enter a value will be displayed onto the screen and cursor it will wait for the input. You need to provide some input. Whatever the input you have given, that will be stored in a variable a. A is tagged to that value. Now see here, see the if condition. If statement. If then condition a greater than b. After a greater than b, you need to give colon. Okay, colon, and then see inside if block you need to give some space. If you are not giving some space and you are writing print statement, it will generate error. Okay, if you are giving some space means it, what you are saying, what it mean? It means this statement belongs to if block. See, if A greater than B is true, if this condition is true, then this print this print function will get executed. This statement will get executed. If A greater than B is false, then control comes to else part. Okay, else suit will be executed. Remember that in if, after if, statements must follow some spaces. If statements are following some spaces means those statements are belonging to if block, if suit. Okay, remember colon also you need to give, after else you need to give colon. Okay, now see here, same program you can write using, see right side. See right side. See right side, using max function also you can, without no need to use if statement. You can use, if you want to find largest number between two numbers or three numbers or so on, you can use max function. See, large equal to max of a comma b. What this max function will do? It will return largest element. Okay, for example, you have given a value as 10, b value as 20, max of 10 comma 20. What is the largest? Max of 10 comma 20. Largest is 20, right? 20 will be returned. Now large variable contains 20. That is what you are printing. You no need to use if statement. You can use max function directly. You can give any numbers. Okay, any, see, like max of, for example, three numbers you can give, three numbers, a comma b comma c. Four numbers you can give, right? Now next one. I will execute and I will show you. I'll execute and show you. See here. Let us see it. See, I'm opening in a new file. See here. A equal to one second. See, A equal to int of input function. Inside that input function, I'm passing enter a value. Enter a value. X, comma. Sorry. Enter b equal to int of input function. Inside int function, why you are using int function? Anyone answer my question? Why you are using int function?
Only to give integers.
Yes. Very good. If you are giving floating point number means what you will get?
Error, ma'am.
Yes, very good. 62. Okay. Okay, see here. Input, enter the value. It's very easy. Python programs are very easy. Please concentrate. I request all the students to listen carefully. Now, if condition. I'm using if, unit brackets, a greater than b. A greater than b, colon. See, you need to use colon. After condition, colon. See, enter. After enter, see, you need to give some space. After space, you need to type. Okay, if you are not giving space after if statement, it will generate error. Okay, in space, indentation, you need to follow. What it represents all the statements belongs to if block. If you are giving spaces, print largest value is comma, largest value is a. Enter. Next, else colon. Again, you need to give spaces. print largest value is comma B. Okay, enter. And now, see, you need to save the file. How to save the file? File name dot py. All Python program file extension must be py. Okay, I'm giving like large dot py. Okay, dot file extension for Python is py. Save. Now, see how to run. Press F5. Press F5. Okay, where is F5? F5. Just wait. And F5. Just wait. You will get the output. See, you will get the output in shell. Python IDLE shell. You will get the output. Enter A value. I'm entering 10. Enter. Enter B value 20. What is the answer? Largest value is 20, right? This way, you have to use if else statement. Once again, see the syntax. After condition colon, after else you need to give colon and give spaces. Okay. All if statements must follow some indentation spaces. If you are not following spaces, means it will generate error. See, for example, see after this I'm typing like this. See here, without space I'm giving some print statement and if something like this. Now this statement, one second, I will show you. See this statement does not belongs to if block. Why? You are not giving space. If you are giving space, means this statement will belongs to if block, if suit. You are not giving space. Without giving space, you have typed a print end if or something like this. That means this print statement does not belongs to if. Okay, remember that. Now next, if else if completed, right? Next, now let us find largest of three numbers. Okay, see once again, largest of three numbers. If elif, you need to use elif. If elif, I will show you. If a greater than b and b greater than a, then print largest value is a. Next, I'm using if elif statement, just like if else ladder. In C language, there is a if else ladder, right? Same, same. One second. If see elif, you need to use elif. One second. Elif. Elif else. Okay. Elif condition. What is the condition? A greater than B and B greater than. Now B greater than A and B greater than C. Sorry, B greater than. Sorry, B greater than C. See, here this program is finding largest of three numbers. For finding largest of three numbers, I am using if elif else statement. Okay, colon. You need to give colon. Largest number is B. Largest is, need to give some space. Largest number is B. See, once again, see the logic. If A greater than B and A greater than C, largest value is A. Elif B greater than A and B greater than C is, that means largest value is C. Else, largest value is C. Okay. Now see what is happening. I will explain. See, when if condition is true, when this condition is true, if suit will be executed, this statement will be executed. That's all. When this condition is false, when this condition is false, control goes to elif statement. This condition will get executed. If this condition is true, control will execute elif statement, print. This print statement will be executed. Okay, that's all. Now, see. Now, if condition is false and elif condition is false, then else block, control comes to else block. Okay, this statement will get executed. If you want to test multiple conditions, you need to use if else statement. Okay, if condition is true, control comes to elif condition. Okay, elif condition will be tested. If elif condition is true, then elif block will be executed. Elif suit will be executed. Elif suit is nothing but statements inside elif block. Okay, I hope you understood. This is how elif statement will be executed. Now, same statement you can write like this also. See, if you want to find the largest of three numbers, see, no need to use if elif. Okay, if you want to find the largest of three numbers, just use max a comma b comma c large equal to max of a comma b comma c. What this function will do, it will find largest of three numbers and it will return largest number. Now large variable is tagged to that number. Okay, it is very simple. No need to use if else statement. Just you can use max condition. Okay, sorry, max function, you can use it. See, I request offline students who came to the class offline, please come to the lab 1. No one had came here. Okay. Okay, now next, let us see next one. Now I will explain program. Let us see the program. See, program, Python program to find whether a given number is even or odd. How to find whether a given number is even or odd? Let us see it. Now see, even or odd. A percentile. If any number you are dividing by 2, if you are getting remainder as 0, then it is even number, right? See here. If a percentile, what is percentile? Modulo symbol, what it will do? Modulo operator, it will find remainder. If you are dividing any number by 2 and you are getting remainder 0 means, then the number is a even number. Okay. See, now a percentile to equal to equality. Okay, this is equality checking. Printf, printf, it is even number. Is even. Next, else. Else, call else. You need to give colon, right? Remember this. Else, print, it is odd. It is odd number. Okay, see what is happening. Let us see first output. F5, right? Need to press F5. See, enter a value. 14. This is error. Printf. Okay, sorry. Print, not printf. Print, okay. Enter a value 14.
Yes, ma'am.
See, it is an even number, right? See.
Yes, ma'am.
I will explain it. Just wait. Now see here. See, this condition A, when you are dividing any number by 2, if you are getting remainder 0 means it is an even number. Percentile here, modulo symbol will find remainder. If A divide, for example, I have given when you divide 14 by 2, what is the remainder you are getting? 0, right? 0 double equal to 0. This is equality checking. If this condition is true, then what's the statement? See, if this condition is true, this condition is true, control comes to the if suit. What is if suit? Print it is even. It is even will be printed. If this condition is false, if this condition is false, this condition is false, control comes to the else block. Sorry, else suit. If this condition is false, control comes to else suit. Is it clear, students? Did you understand? Is it clear? Now next. Now let us see while and for. While and for. Okay. See, let us see it. Let us see it. Second, please wait. Hmm. See here while condition, while syntax. Please see the while syntax. See the while syntax. See while condition colon. See here. This colon represents starting of the while block. Okay. While, no need to give any braces. While condition colon and all these statements must be follow. You must follow some. Sorry. You must give some indentation. All these statements must follow some indentation. That means space. If you are not giving space, means it is not. It does not belongs to while block, or it will generate some error. Okay, remember that. You must give some indentation space. Now, if if these statements following indentation, that means all these statements are called while suit. Okay, all these statements belongs to while block. Okay, here you need to give colon. After condition, you need to give colon. Next, let us see the program. Python program to print first 10 numbers. How to do it? Here I am using while loop. X equal to 1. Next, while x is less than or equal to 10. This is the condition. This is the condition. And next you need to give colon. Remember that. After condition you need to give colon. After that print. Print x. What it is doing? See, 1 is less than or equal to 10. True, right? This is true. 1 is less than or equal to 10. True. When this condition is true, see, control comes to while suit. స్టూడెంట్స్ దగ్గర ఉన్నాను. అమ్మాయి రాలా, స్టూడెంట్ దగ్గర అమ్మాయి రాలా, ఇయ్యలే. ఆ, okay, see here, print x. Now one value will be printed. After that, x equal to x plus 1. In Python, there is no increment statement. Post increment or pre increment, there is no statement like x plus plus. You cannot give it. You need to use x equal to x plus 1. Now x value will be incremented. Now x value is 2. Now again control goes to condition. 2 is less than or equal to 10. True, right? When this is true, control comes inside while loop. Now print 2. 2 will be printed. See the output. Okay. In this way, control goes to the condition. In this way, statements will be executed. Now when condition is false, control comes out of the while block. When condition is false, when x equal to 11, condition will fall. Condition will be false. Okay. At that time, control comes out of the for loop. Out of the for loop, what is statement is there? Print end. Okay. See the output, you will understand. See, remember that you need to space. One second. See, remember that you need to give spaces. See here, all these statements here, there is a space, right? Indentation. This following some space. If you are not giving space, means these statements does not belongs to while block. If you are giving some space after while statement, if you are giving some space and you are writing this, all these statements belongs to while block. See here, see print end. This statement is not following indentation, right? There is no space, right? This is not following indentation. That means this statement does not belongs to while block. Is it clear? The topic is clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the next class, I will continue with for loop and some programs. Let us see some of the programs. Sorry, I'm going to continue it. Next class is also coding lab only, coding class only. I'm sorry. Going to continue it. I'm sorry, students. I'll continue it. Is the topic is clear up to now? We have seen membership operators, identity operators, and control statements, right? Condition statement, if, else, and if, elif statements, right? Have you understood? Did you understand? Now let us see. One second. Just wait. Okay. See here. Just wait for 2 minutes. Okay, let us see it. Now next for loop. Let us see for loop. Now before this, I need to explain range. This is a sequence. Okay. See, once you see range. Please see here. This is the sequence range. Range of 5 means what you will get? You will get 502. I will execute and I will show you. I'm sorry. I will execute and I will show you. You will understand. Range C. Range. Range of 5. Second. 1 second. Just wait. See the for loop. See for I in range of 5. I will execute and I will show you. You will understand that at that time. Range of 5, colon, you need to give colon, colon, print I, print I. Means, sorry, print I. Okay, now see, I'm executing it. What is the output? Let us see it. I will explain. Just wait. First, let us see the output. See, 0 to 4. It is printed 0 to 4. Okay. Now I will explain it. See, what is range? Range is a sequence. Now, range of 5 means you will get, it will iterate from 0, 1, 2, 3, 5 minus 1, up to 5 minus 1, 4. Okay, iteration from 0 to 4. 0 to 4. Now, if you are specifying on, I will show you, just wait. See, if you are, I am specifying like this, just wait, I will explain. I am specifying 1 comma 5, 1 to 5. What is the output? Let us see it. 1 to 5, range of 1 to 5. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, range of 5 means you got output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Range of 1 comma 4, 1 comma 5 means you got output 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us see how you got it. See here. Range is a sequence. Okay, this is a data type. This is a sequence. Range of 5, you will get iterations from 0, 1, 2, 3, 5 minus 1, 4. Now range of 1 comma 5, you will get, see, 1 comma 5 means it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 4, 5 minus 1. Okay, remember 5 minus 1. This is what difference between range of 5, range of 1 comma 5. If you are giving range of 6, range of 6 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6 minus 1, 5. Range of 1 comma 6 means it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 minus 1, 5. Okay. This is what range sequence. Now see here. Now let us see. I will explain first syntax and then I will explain the program. First, let us see for syntax. Before I am explaining about for, you need to know about range. That's why I have explained range. Range is a sequence, okay? I'm sorry, this is 0. 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay. See here, for syntax. See the for syntax. For variable in sequence. See, you need to give first statement, next variable. Okay, here you need to specify variable and then you need to give in. Madam, మ్యామ్ పని సార్ అప్పుడు చెప్పారు కదా మ్యామ్ వర్క్ షాప్ ఇంకేం జరగలేదు మ్యామ్. ఓకే, నేను క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నాను. ఓకే. Now see here. See for keyword you need to use and then you need to give variable. Okay, some variable and then in keyword you need to use and then you need to give sequences only here. Sequences. What are sequences? String. String is a sequence. List is a sequence. tuple is a sequence, range is a sequence. Okay, remember this. In for loop, you need to give sequences: for, space, variable, space, in, space, sequence. Here sequences are nothing but string, list, tuple, range. Just now I have explained range. Okay, range of 5 means you will get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Range of 1, comma 5 means you will get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I will explain with an example. At that time you can understand. Now let us see this example. Range of 5. Now see how it will execute. See, what is a variable here? I is a variable. Okay, for space I, here I took I, variable name is I. Next, in is a keyword. Here I have given a sequence. What is the sequence I have given? Range. This is a sequence. Sequences, you can give string, you can give list. In the place of sequence, you can give list, tuple, and range. You can give range. Okay, now see here. Now see, range of 5 means you will get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what is happening? 0 is assigned to I. Okay, 0 is assigned to I, and now control comes inside for loop. Here inside for loop you are printing I. What is I value? See here, 0, right? Range of 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. First 0 will be assigned to I. Now control comes inside the pursuit. Okay, for statements will get executed. What is the statement present in for pursuit? For print I. What is the I value? 0. Output will be 0 will be printed. Okay, 0 will be printed. Next, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 1, 0 completed, right? Now 1 will be assigned to I. Now I contains 1. Now I contains 1. Okay, print I. Now control comes inside for loop. Print I. Now 1 will be printed. I hope you understood, students. Now what is the next one? 2, right? 2 will be assigned to I. 2 will be assigned to I. Next, control comes inside for loop. What is the for loop statement? Print I. Now 2 will be printed. In this way, it will iterate up to 4. First 0 will be printed. First 1 will be printed. 2 will be printed. 3 will be printed. And 4 will be printed. How assignment will be done? See here. Once again, see how assignment will be done. See, first 0 will be assigned to I. Next 1 will be assigned to I. Next 2 will be assigned to I. Next 3 will be assigned to I. Next 4 will be assigned to I. Okay. After assignment, control comes inside for loop. Okay. Next sequence will be executed. Did you understand, students? Or once again, should I explain it? Have you understood? Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now tell me the output, a range of 2, 10. What is the output? Anyone please explain, send me the output. For I in range of 2, 10, print I. Remember here you need to give colon. Okay, after first statement give colon. Sorry, colon, one colon. Anyone please answer my question? What is the output of this program? I have given range of 2, 10. What is the output? Anyone please respond.
2 to 9 members.
Yes, very good. Who is that? 62. Very good. Yes. See here. See, range of 2, 10 means it's 2, 3, 4, 5, so on up to 9. First 2 will be assigned to I. Again control comes to inside for loop. Print I. 2 will be printed. Next 3 will be assigned to I. Next 4 will be assigned. 5 will be assigned. In this way, okay. Output will be 2 to 9. Very good. 62. Now, next. Yes. Let us see how to read list. See here, your program statement is you need to read some values from keyboard. Okay, list a equal to, I am giving empty list. See here, I am giving empty list. A equal to open bracket, open square bracket and close square bracket. I have given empty list. Why? Because I am going to give the data from the keyboard. How to do it? See, okay, see here, I'm giving some empty list. Next, n equal to int of input. You are giving, you need to enter how size, number of elements in the list. Okay, you need to enter size through keyboard. See, input function, enter size or number of elements. Enter number of elements. Okay, now yes, range of n, right? Just wait, range of n. Okay, range of n. See, for example, if you are giving n value, size of the list elements as 3 means index starts from 0, 1, 2. That's why here I have given range of n. It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to n minus 1. Okay, now what you are doing? Now you need to enter some element and then you need to append to the list. How to do it? See, colon, you need to specify colon, print, sorry, element equal to uh, int of input, just input. Just I will give another statement. Just wait. Print, enter the elements. Enter the elements. Enter the elements. Okay, see here. Just I'm giving input. I'm not giving any. I'm not passing any message. Okay, just input function. I'm not passing any message. Next, now what I am going to do? See here, element ele is a variable equal to int of input function. Now you need to provide some value through keyboard. That value will be present in ele. Now you need to append this value into the list. How to do it? A dot append of ele. Now append, what append function will do? Anyone please respond, what append function will do? In previous class already I have explained. What append function will do?
It will give values into the list.
Yes, very good. It will add the values into the end of the list. Here, the list is empty, right? End of the list means from starting to it will add. Very good. Okay. Now, completed. Now, let us, okay, let us print it. Print elements in list are. You are printing elements in list are. Again, for loop. Use for loop. For variable in range of n. Okay, index starts from 0 to n minus 1. Colon, you need to give colon. Range of, I'm sorry. See, you need to display the elements from list, right? Here, give list. I'm sorry. See, you are going to display all the elements which are present in the list. That's why you need to give here list. For I in A, here A is a list variable name. Okay, colon, please provide colon. Next, print A of I. Print A of I. Okay, now see, now I will explain this. Just wait, I'll explain this. See here, this is empty list. First, you need to provide empty list. Empty list. Okay. Because you are providing the what is this? You are providing the data into the list through keyboard. Okay. Next, you need to enter how many number of elements you want into the list. N equal to int of input function. Now, whatever you are entering value, that value will be tagged to n. Okay. Sorry. N is tagged to that value. Next, print. Enter the elements. Enter the elements will be printed onto the screen. Now, for I in range of n. See, range of n. For example, I have given n equal to 3. Range of n. What is range of n? 0, 1, 2. Up to 3 minus 1, 2. Now, see. Now, this loop will be repeated 3 times. Loop will be repeated 3 times. That means the 3 values you need to enter. Okay. You have, see, ELE equal to int of input. Just input function I have given. No message I have passed. Cursor will be waiting. You need to enter. Okay. This loop, these 2 statements will be repeated 3 times. For I equal to 0, for I equal to 1, for I equal to 2, 3 times these statements will be repeated. Okay. 3 times you need to enter the input. That value will be appended to the end of the string. Okay, sorry, end of the list. A dot append. Okay, A is a list, empty list. To this empty list, whatever the value you have entered will be appended, will be added to the list. Okay. So this loop will be repeated 3 times. For I equal to 0, for I equal to 1, for I equal to 2. Okay. I hope you understood. Now see here. Now you need to see. For example, I have entered 3 elements 10, 20, 30. Now what you need to do? You need to display all these elements present in the list. Now how to do it? For, see the statement. See the statement. For I in A. Here I have used list variable. Here A contains a 10, 20, 30. Okay. Now, see, first 10 will be assigned to I. 10 will be assigned to I. Okay. 10 will be assigned to I. Now we are printing. Sorry, what is this? A of I. A of 10. I'm sorry. Please wait. Just I, no need A of I. I'm sorry, students. Just I. No need A of I. I'm sorry. I. Sorry. Now A contains 10, 20, 30. Okay, you have entered through keyboard 10, 20, 30. Now 10 will be assigned to I. You are printing that I value. I contains 10, right? Next time 20 will be assigned to I. Again control comes inside for loop. You are printing that 20. Now 30 will be assigned to I. Next time 30 will be assigned to I. You are printing that. Now control comes inside the for loop. You are printing that. Okay. Here you need to give some sequence. You want to print something, some values inside the list, right? You need to provide list variable. List variable. Each time, the value will be assigned to the variable. Okay. Now let us see. I will execute and I will show you. Run. Enter the number of elements. Now I'm entering 3. Enter the elements 10, 20, 30. I'm entering. See, the elements in the list are 10, 20, 30. Okay. I hope you understood, students. Once again, see the program is very, very easy. If you want to print something, whatever present in list, here you infer. See, here you need to provide that list name. Remember, you are going to print all the values present in the list, right? That's why in the place of a range, please provide a list variable. So each value from the list variable will be assigned to variable I. Did you understand? Students, shall I continue? Shall I continue? Did you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let us see string, okay? Now see string. You need to provide some input through keyboard. S equal to, see, no need to use int or str. By default, if you are providing input, just input function means you are, it will take as a string. Enter this string. Enter the string. Enter this string, okay? No need to give str of or int of or whatever it may be. If you want to provide string through the keyboard, just give input function. By default, whatever you have given, for example, if you entered integer, it will take as a string. If you enter a string, it will take as a string. If you entered float value, it will take as like that only. Okay? Now see, now what is the problem statement? You need to provide string through the keyboard and then you need to display each and every character of the string. For example, I am providing LAVA and YA. What is the what is the program you need to write? You need to write program such a way that it must display each and every character L, A, B, A, N, Y, A. Okay, like this you should get the output. You need to provide this string through the keyboard and then you need to and then you need to display each and every character one after one. How to do it? Let us see it. Okay, see here. What is this 6 now? One second, please wait. I'll open another file. Okay, let us see. S equal to, just use input function. Input, enter the string, Next, what is the 6 now? Okay, see here. S equal to input function. I have given input function. You need to provide the input through keyboard and then you need to use for loop, right? Because you need to display each and every character, right? For I in S, you colon print I. That's all. I will explain. First, I will execute and I will show you, and then I will explain. Okay, see here. One second. There is some problem. So I will execute this way. Okay. Okay, see. Why it's not showing output? String dot. Just wait. It's not showing out. Okay, I will execute here s equal to enter the string of existence. One second. I will open ideally. Just wait for 2 minutes. I'm opening Python ideally. Some problem is there here. Subprocess connection error. Online startup. Okay, in online, see here. See how to execute the Python programs in online. See, just online Jupyter. Type online Jupyter. Okay, how to execute Python programs in online. Online Jupyter. In Google, type online Jupyter. In online Jupyter, first link. Open the first link. See how to execute the Python programs in online. Use online Jupyter. Now here click Jupyter. Try Jupyter Lab. Click Jupyter Lab. Okay. In Google type online Jupyter and next click Jupyter Lab. You will get like this. Just wait. You will get. Now see here. After that it will display like this. Click Python 3. Click Python 3. Notebook Python 3. Demo Python 3. Now I will zoom it. Please wait. See here. Here you can type the program. See, you can type the program s equal to input function enter the string next for I'll zoom it. See here for I in S. I'm giving some sequence. S colon, right? Colon print I. Just print I. Now see, first in Google type online Jupyter. After that, click first link. After that, click Jupyter Lab. After that, you will get like this. Click Python 3 demo. Okay, in here, in this cells, you can see this cell. In this cell, type the program. Okay, see, completed. After that, if you want to execute it, just shift enter. Okay, shift enter. See here, if you want to execute the program in online Jupyter, shift enter, press shift enter. Now see here, enter this string Lavanya. I'm entering this string Lavanya, enter. Now see the output, individual character is displayed, right? See, individual character is displayed. See the output. I have entered Lavanya, individual character is displayed. How it is displaying? See, I will explain it. Now see here, you are entering. I have entered Lavanya. Okay. Now see here. Here what you have given? S, right? S contains Lavanya. Lavanya. Now first character L will be assigned to I. First character L will be assigned to I. Now control comes inside the for loop. Okay. Inside the for loop, what is it? What it presents? Print. Print I. I contains L. Now L will be displayed. Okay. After that, again control goes to the next character. What is the next character? A. A will be assigned to I. A will be assigned to I. Again control comes inside the for loop. What is present inside the for loop? I, right? Print I. Now A character will be printed. Next, again V. V will be assigned to I. V will be printed. A will be assigned to I. A will be printed. N will be assigned to I. N will be printed. Y will be assigned to I. Y will be printed. A will be assigned to I. A will be printed. Okay. Now see how it is printing. See here, character after character you are getting, right? Once again. See the output. See, first L is printed, right? See, remember that print function. After printing, this print function will throw the cursor to the next line. Okay, no need to give slash n or anything. Okay, no need to give slash n. Automatically, this print function will throw the cursor to the next line. So, in the next output will be printed in the next line. No need to give slash n. See, L will be printed. In the next cursor comes to the next line. Automatically cursor comes to the next line. If you are using print statement, no need to give slash n. Okay. Next character A will be printed in the next line. Okay. Did you understand, students? Shall I explain it again, or it is okay for you? Is it okay
Okay,
for
ma'am.
you? Okay. Okay, in this class I just explained control statements, if, elif, and for loop and while loop. Please practice all those things. Already I have made coding lab programs, right? Some draft I have mailed you. Please practice those programs. If any doubts, please you can ask me. If any doubts, you can ask me. See, is Python is very easy? Easy for you? Or C language is easy for you? Please respond. Is Python is easy for you?
Python.
It's very easy, okay? See, Python contains many library functions. You no need to write some lengthy code. If you want to find maximum numbers, use max function. If you want to find minimum numbers, use min function. If you want to find, if you want to sort, just use sort function. No need to write some lengthy code just like you are writing in a C language, okay? In next class, I will explain programs. I will stop it up to control statements. In the next class, I will explain only programs. మేడం మ్యామ్ రికార్డింగ్ కి అడ్మిన్ ఇచ్చారు మ్యామ్. మెకానికల్ సురేష్ సార్ ఇచ్చారు. మీరు చేస్తున్నారా ఏంటి? ఓకే సారీ మర్చిపోయాను మ్యామ్. సారీ మర్చిపోయాను మ్యామ్ మీకు చెప్పడం. అడ్మిన్ వేరే వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారు మ్యామ్, మెకానికల్ వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారు అడ్మిన్. అక్కర్లేదు అక్కర్లేదు. ఓకే ఓకే. నెక్స్ట్ I will explain a simple program. There is 10 more minutes, right? Please listen carefully. I will explain one more program. See in online Jupyter only practice the programs. See in online Jupyter, in this cell you can type the program and press shift enter. Okay, to execute shift enter. If you want another cell, here there is plus symbol. Okay, you can insert this cell. In this cell you can type the program. Now see the program statement. One second. Okay, see. Program statement is okay. See, this is the integer number, right? 123 is integer number. Now you want to display each individual digits of this number. Okay, see once again, see what is the problem statement. You need to enter some number through keyboard. Okay, I have entered 1 2 3 through. I have entered 1 2 3. Now what will be the output? You want to display each and every number, individual digits of the number, just like 1 2 3 individual numbers you need to display. Once again, see the problem statement. Please understand carefully. You need to enter a number and then output must be individual digits. You need to display individual digits. How to do it? I will explain. No need to use for loops, all those things. Okay, just wait. I will type the program. N equal. No need to use some other lengthy logic. Very simple. A equal to int of input function enter a value. Now see here what I am doing. I am converting this integer s equal to, I am converting this integer into string. Okay, see str, right? I'm sorry, str function. If you want to convert anything into string, you use str function. Str. What I'm doing here, one second. Okay, see what I'm doing here. I'm converting 123. I'm going to give 123 as the input. This 123 is converted into the string. Okay, now you know that in string you can access individual characters, right? That's what I'm doing. For loop, for I in s. Now I'm going to access individual characters. Okay, 1 2 3 integer is converted into this string. Now 1 2 3, 1 you can access individually, 2 you can access individually, 3 you can access individually, because it is a string, right? Now print I. What is the output you are getting? Let us see it. shift enter, press shift enter a value 123. This is an integer I have entered. What is the output you got? See here, 1 2 3 is displayed. This is very simple logic. No need to use some lengthy logics. Okay, what I'm doing, you know that string you can, sorry, you know that in a string you can access individual characters. You can access, I will explain, just wait. See, 1 2 3 is an integer I have given as an integer. Now what I am doing with this statement, s equal to str of a. Now you are converting this 1 2 3 into string. Okay, now if this is converted into the string, you can access individual characters because this is a string, right? You can access 1, you can access 2, you can access 3. Okay, now I'm using for loop for I in s. S contains 123 as a string. Now 1 is assigned to I, that value will be printed. 2 is assigned to I, 2 is assigned to I, control comes inside for loop, print I, 2 will be printed. Next 3 will be assigned to I. Now control comes inside the for loop, print I, 3 will be printed. Is it clear? It's very easy, right? In C language, you need to write some lengthy code. But here, just within some 3 lines, code is completed. Is it clear, students? Have you understood? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You are displaying individual digits. Only one member is responding. What about remaining members? Please respond. Are you able to understand what I am saying? Okay, Sandhya. See, I just announced offline students come to the lab, but no one came. See, to my class, please come to the lab 1. Okay, offline students who are coming to offline, whenever there is my class, please come to lab 1 G10. Okay, time is completed. Any doubts? Please respond. Are there any doubts for you? Any doubts? Please respond. No doubts? Topic, okay. Topic is control statements, madam. Topic is control statements. Okay, next class I will explain only programs. Let us see some of the programs. I hope you understood. For loop, while loop, condition statements,